Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, At Home with Willowberry. Or if you're new, welcome. But where have you been? I'm so happy to see you here. My name is Valerie, and in today's video, we're heading outside to start work on our garden patch. I plant a few spring flowers, and we get caught out in the rain. We're getting our hands dirty today, y'all. So if you're interested, I hope you'll stick around and enjoy the video. It's finally springtime here in the Virginia mountains, and the trees are starting to wake up. The redbud trees are blooming, and their purple petals are a welcome sight. I actually completely forgot that we even had redbud trees here on our property, so imagine my surprise the first day I saw those beautiful purple blossoms. I've been patiently waiting for the dogwood trees to bloom, but they're not quite ready to wake up just yet. It won't be much longer though. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll start to see those distinctive white cross-shaped petals in full bloom, and I can't wait. And if I remember correctly, I think we even have a pink dogwood tree. Well, now that spring is here, it's time to get to work on the garden beds. This will be the first time I have ever planted a vegetable garden, and even though I've been reading a ton of books on starting seeds and growing vegetables, this year will be a trial and error since we're learning as we go. We bought 4 raised garden beds that we'll be using to grow our vegetables in, but we decided we still wanted to go ahead and till up the dirt because we wanted a level spot to place the garden beds on. I also plan on planting a ton of flowers along the fence line, and it will just make it easier to plant them if the earth has been loosened up beforehand. I'm just trying to explain why Tim is tilling up a large portion of the garden patch, even though we plan on using garden beds. Also, this area used to be an animal pen of some sort, and last year it was completely overgrown with goldenrod and weeds, so we just thought it made sense to till it all up. You might actually see some vegetables already planted on the other side of the garden patch. Those belong to our neighbor who we are sharing the garden patch with, which is a blessing because he is an experienced gardener and he has already given us a ton of great advice on how to get started. Well, y'all, it's the next morning, and Tim and I have gotten to work bright and early to try and beat the rain that's headed our way. Yesterday, we had just enough time to finish tilling up the dirt. Today, the plan is to rake and level out the garden patch and to start building the raised garden beds. This year, we would like to try and grow some tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, cabbage, onions, squash, and zucchini. I'd also like to try growing some pumpkins and watermelons. Let me tell you what Tim did. He came home the other day with 6 berry bushes. Then the next day, he came back with 6 more bushes, plus 2 types of strawberries. So now we have 12 assorted berry bushes to plant, such as blueberry, raspberry, and blackberry, as well as some grapevines. I also plan on trying to grow some wildflowers, marigolds, nasturtiums, and sunflowers. I'm not going to lie, I'm getting a little overwhelmed just thinking about all we plan to accomplish. But I'm also getting excited because my marigold seeds have already germinated, which I hope is a good sign. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, well, we're just going to keep on raking and leveling off the garden patch so we can build some garden beds. Although, I don't know how far we're going to get because there's a huge rainstorm headed our way. We are almost finished leveling off the garden patch, and I'm really happy with how it's turning out. I can't wait to put the raised garden beds together, and although we plan to use the garden beds to grow most of our vegetables in, we do plan on planting some vegetables straight into the ground, such as cucumbers, squash, pumpkins, and watermelons. For those of you who raise vegetable gardens, what are some of your favorite vegetables to grow? And if you have any tips to share with Tim and I, then please leave them down in the comments because we sure can use all the help we can get. We have so many plans for this spring and summer. Not only do we plan to plant and grow our first vegetable garden, we also want to finish building a fence around the front yard for the dogs to be able to run and play in. We started to build it last summer, but then the kids started back to school and we turned our focus to renovating inside the mobile home, so the fence got put on the back burner. But now that we're taking a small break from renovating, it would be the perfect time to finish the fence. Well, all right, we're almost finished leveling off the garden patch, so we're just about ready to start building the raised garden beds. All right, the moment I've been waiting for. It's finally time to unbox the raised garden beds. We bought 4 raised garden beds from Amazon. They are made of galvanized metal and are 8 feet long, 4 feet wide, and stand 2 feet tall, so they are actually quite large. I have arthritis, so it's difficult for me to get up and down off the ground, so I'm very happy with how tall these beds are. We had planned to get started assembling the garden beds straight away, but there's a big old rainstorm headed our way, and Tim wants to go get a truckload of topsoil from the local co-op before the rain starts. They charge by the truckload, so Tim wants to get a load before the dirt gets soaking wet. Not only are we expecting rain today, but also all day tomorrow, so Tim is going to head off to go get some dirt. Since this is a 2-person job, I'll have to wait until he gets back to finally put the bed together. Well, while Tim heads off to pick up the topsoil compost mix that we plan on filling the garden beds with, I'm going to go ahead and plant some spring flowers in my deck baskets. I was at Lowe's the other day to buy rakes and garden hose, and they had some beautiful spring flowers for sale, and I couldn't resist. I picked up some of the prettiest pansies I've ever seen, and I can't wait to get them planted. Aw, look who's come to help. It's Mr. Milo. He really seems to love the flowers. I bought some catnip seeds, so I plan on growing some for him. I think he'll be a super happy cat with his very own catnip plant. I'm so in love with this color mix of pansies. You usually see purple and yellow pansies grown together, but this is the first time I've ever seen yellow, orange, and white pansies. It's such a lovely combination. Well, the rain hasn't started just yet, so hopefully Tim makes it back with the dirt soon, and maybe, just maybe, we can get the first garden bed built before the rain comes. Milo really is a sweet cat, and he usually loves all the pets and cuddles that we give him. But every once in a while, he just doesn't want to be bothered, and he won't hesitate to nip at you. I'm not going to lie, he makes me nervous sometimes when I reach down to pet him because I'm never sure if he's going to love me or bite me. He's definitely an old tomcat, that's for sure. All right, well, I've just about finished planting the pansies. I'm just going to blow the dirt off the porch and then water the flowers just a little bit. I know it's going to rain soon, so I don't want to overwater the pansies, but it doesn't feel right not to give them just a little bit of water. I tell you what, I absolutely love living here in the mountains. It is a dream come true. I never get tired of the views or the fresh air, and you should see all the stars up in the night sky. It's just so majestic, and it never gets old. Well, all right, Tim called, and he was able to get the dirt, so now he's on his way home, but it will be a while before he gets back, so I have just enough time to clean up my mess and then prepare a hummingbird feeder. According to Google, hummingbirds are due to come back sometime in mid-April, but I swear I already saw a hummingbird just the other day. So just in case, I want to go ahead and get that sweet nectar ready for when they finish their migration back to the Virginia mountains. Tim has made it back home with the dirt, and thankfully it hasn't started to rain just yet, so we're going to go ahead and start to build the garden bed. We have 4 beds to build, but we're going to focus on just the one for right now. Well, y'all, we were only able to build about half of the garden bed before we started to feel some raindrops, so we're going to have to wrap this up for now. I'm really bummed out, y'all. It's calling for rain for the next 3 days and almost all of next week, which is our spring break. And although I love a good rainstorm, I really wanted to be outside to get our garden beds built sooner than later. But because Tim is so sweet, he just might melt out here in the rain, so we're going to head back inside for now. Well, y'all, it's been a couple of days since we've been able to work on the garden bed, and even though it's a bit chilly and overcast this morning, it's supposed to turn out to be a beautiful day for working outside. The dirt from where we tilled up the garden patch is soaking wet from all the rain, so as soon as you step on it, it turns to mud, so we're going to finish building the garden bed on a tarp. Our plan today is to finish building the first garden bed, then we're going to fill it with mulch and the topsoil that Tim bought at the co-op the other day. It's going to be a long day of back-breaking work, and I can't wait to get started. So if you're ready, it's finally time to finish building our first garden bed. I love it. It's exactly what I wanted. You never know what you're going to end up with when you order from Amazon, but this time it was exactly what I was looking for. Now we just have to figure out where we want to put it, because once it's filled with mulch and dirt, it won't be moving from that spot, that's for sure. recently had several dead trees cut down here on our property, and we had the tree cutters leave the mulch behind from where they chipped up the old trees because we knew it would be perfect to use in the bottom of the raised garden beds and also to create walkways around the garden beds. So that's the next step in getting our garden ready. This is that back-breaking work I was talking about. We have a ton of shoveling ahead of us between the mulch and dirt that we're going to need to fill the garden beds. So I guess we better get busy because that mulch isn't going to move itself, that's for sure. It's turned out to be a gorgeous day. The weather is perfect for working outside, and I couldn't be any happier. But now it's time to go start moving dirt from the truck to the garden bed, which I am not looking forward to. But if we want to be ready in time for the planting season, we've got to get busy. We plan to shovel the dirt from the truck into the wagon and then into the garden bed until we've moved enough dirt to lighten the load in the truck. Then Tim will be able to back the truck right up to the garden bed. Unfortunately, the truck is just too heavy right now, and it will get stuck in the freshly tilled up garden patch. All right, well, let's go shovel some dirt. My word, y'all, that felt like a lot of dirt, and it barely even covered the bottom of the garden bed. And to think this is just the first of 4 garden beds that we plan to build and fill with dirt this spring, which is doable as long as the rain holds off. The bed was actually pretty easy to build, and now that we have experience building the first one, the next 3 should be much quicker to build. I just don't look forward to moving all that mulch and dirt. Tim said they loaded his truck up with 2 tons of dirt back at the co-op, and we used about 2/3 of that dirt just to fill 1 garden bed. That is a lot of dirt. And just imagine, we have to do that 3 more times. We have our work cut out for us. It's a good thing we had 3 strong teenage boys, that's for sure. Well, y'all, I just love our new raised garden bed. It's perfect for what we need, and I can't wait until all 4 are built and ready for us to start planting in later this spring. And the sooner the better, because once they're all built, then we can build the garden shed, and then the chicken coop, and then the dog fence, and then the wood shed, and who knows what else. The to-do list is a mile long. That's all I really know for sure. Well, y'all, that's about it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to talk to you in my next one. I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you real soon. Bye, y'all.